Now in this video, we're going to show you how to create a mining industry related proposal using Proposal Kit. Proposal Kit includes templates for all kinds of industries. So every proposal pack, including the general design themes, the mining specific design themes, any design theme, has a couple samples that are mining related. The Wizard software has layouts for a handful of mining related project layouts, such as pitching a startup for a mine, an investment proposal, mining safety, environmental studies, and so on. So we'll show you how to find all of that material and how to create a mining related proposal. Now we are going to illustrate this with our mining number 3 design theme that will illustrate this as well for how to write a mining industry proposal. If you just go to the homepage, go to the articles link on the homepage and go down to the mining article, you'll scroll down and you'll see that the article will have links off to samples, such as the mining safety sample, transportation, importing, exporting, environmental, expression of interest for mining project. Also links to design themes. Now we add design themes all the time, so we've probably got more design themes on the website than you're seeing in this video over time. But we're going to illustrate this with the mining number 3 design theme. Now you can use any of our hundreds of design themes. You just pick a design theme that fits the graphic style you like. So mining 3 is a newer photo design theme, so the pages of the Word document are going to look like this, with this background design, this color scheme. It's got a nice earthy color scheme. And you can swap out the background graphics, the photos, on any of these design themes as well. So say if your mining isn't gold related, maybe it's another ore or something. If you have a background graphic, you can just replace this one in the design theme. Other mining related design themes have just different colors and photos in the backgrounds. You'll notice they all have the same layout for the text, so the recommendations, the cost summary, and so on. Mining number 1, that's more of a line art design. So you just pick a graphic design theme that you personally like. Maybe you're doing transportation for the mining industry. We have different design themes for transportation. They'll work just fine. If you're doing, say you're doing environmental study or impact statement or something, you might want to use an environmental design theme. Say if you're doing mining related to the energy sector, you might want to use an energy design theme instead. So the design theme doesn't matter. Any design theme will work. So we have mining number 3 selected as our design theme. Whichever design theme you purchase will be the one that's selected. And you can purchase multiple design themes. Most people will just get 1 or 2 sometimes. Now once you've got the Wizard software set up, we're going to illustrate this with our Wizard software. You can still get to all the samples and use the stock templates on other platforms without the Wizard, such as on a Mac. On a Mac, you have the Wizard software. Okay, so every time you're going to create a document, you can go into the button number 2, Document Projects, and you can give this any title you want. We're going to turn off Excel dynamic links just for purposes of the demo to make it a little simpler, but the Excel dynamic links is an expert edition feature that will link the cost tables and the templates to Excel spreadsheets, so you can use Excel spreadsheets to do your calculations. And you click the Pick Documents button, and that will go into the main screen for finding all of the samples and selecting all of the layouts. And this is where you'll find mining related content. So the first screen you'll see are the most common templates. Say cover letter, title page, table of contents, an executive summary, back page. Those are pretty common for every proposal. And then the body pages you'll select based on your specific situation, whether you're doing a mining startup business plan, an environmental study, pitching a mining project, doing mining safety proposal, whatever your situation, you've got thousands of templates to pick from to make up the body of the proposal. And the samples and the mining layouts will show our specific sets of those chapters. And if you want to find mining specific categories of templates, we'll show you those first. You can click on this Add Templates tab, this drop down, and we have things broken up by categories. So this is another way to search through the thousands of templates to find templates specific to your situation. So if you scroll down the list, we'll see Energy Resources Mining, 3 pages of templates. Click that. Now you can check off chapters that are specific to mining, energy, and resources. We can just click Next and look at all 3 pages. Now to see actual samples, we can go to the View Samples tab. Now there's 200 samples that cover a wide range of industries. If we want to look at specific ones for mining, a quick way to find those is just click the Search Samples button and type in one word that you're looking for. So we'll just do mining. And that should find at least a couple samples. So we have an expression of interest for mining and a mining safety sample proposal. Now these samples are completed documents that other people have written, and if you select one from the list, you can view the PDF, and every PDF will have an introduction page kind of describing the sample, the list of chapters that make up that sample, whatever graphic design theme the sample was made in. Your design theme will be whichever design theme you've purchased, so that could be different. So you'll see the sample starts out with a cover letter, the front title page, and now this is using our mining number 2 design. And you'll see things like the prepared for, prepared by, the title, those are merged in by the software into the template. Our table of contents, our list of chapters that were selected, and then each chapter actually filled in with content. Now, if one of our samples just happens to be close to your situation, you want to reuse this text and just modify the text and make your own editable version of one of these samples, the wizard will do that for you easily. You just click this second button, Import Content from Selected Sample. Now, when you do that, it will load your project. Notice we have 0 template selected. Import Content from Selected Sample. It will import all of the chapters for that document. And it will check this box saying loading content from sample. That will cause the wizard to give you the same exact set of chapters, and when it generates the Word document for you, it will load in the actual text of that sample. Now, if you want the same list of chapters, but you want our general purpose boilerplate text that you're going to just completely replace with your own, you can uncheck that box. So another way to get chapters into your project is to go over to this Quick Start tab. Now we have 600 layouts versus the 200 that are in the samples list. So the difference here is the 200 in the samples, those are filled in with real content, whereas in the Quick Start lists, these are lists of chapters that people have used for various projects, but they don't have that person's, say, actual content they wrote. So you can find more layouts over here, and the ones we have in the sample list are over here as well. So here we found 5 layouts that are mining related. A mining safety proposal, the expression of interest. These are actually the same ones as in the sample tab, but there's also a few other mining assessment report, an investment funding proposal layout, a production proposal. So whatever one of these suits you as your starting point, close to your situation, you can select this. So maybe a mining investment funding proposal. If you highlight any of these, it will tell you here the list of chapters that will load into your project. So this mining investment funding proposal is fairly long. It's got 25 pages of chapters. Now you can adjust this list once you load it. So once you highlight a list, you click this import topics from list button, it will load your project with these chapters. And notice we already have 14 selected because we imported the sample. We could override that with these 25. We could even combine these two lists together. These are just ways to get you a list of mining related chapters into your project. Now once we have chapters selected, we can always look at what we have selected by clicking this view button. And this will show us all the chapters we currently have selected for our project. So we can highlight any of these. If we want to say remove a chapter that really doesn't suit our purposes, we can remove a chapter. We can add additional chapters. Now remember, we selected that sample to import the content from. So each of these pages, when it gets built into our project, will actually have the sample content pulled in. So we can add additional pages. So let's go back to the add templates, and we'll go find the mining related topics again. And you can see that out of the 14 we have selected, some of these are already checked off. So let's say we need to add a page to talk about the environmental impact. And we want to add a return on investment. Now when we add new chapters, you're going to get the fill in the blank versions of these because obviously someone didn't fill in these chapters for that sample. We're adding brand new chapters in to tailor the list more to what our situation is. So now we've added 2 more chapters, we're up to 16. Now note the novice edition of the wizard that comes with our basic proposal packs will limit you to a 10-page document. So a lot of our samples and quick start lists are longer than 10 pages, usually on purpose because we give people a wider variety of topics to think about that they might not have realized might be useful, and then they can trim down that list to 10 or less. So just because you see more than 10 pages and your limit is 10 in the novice edition, that's really meant for you to trim that down to 10 or less. Now if you upgrade to the professional edition, there's no limit on the number of chapters. You could build a document 100 or more pages long. Okay, so now let's look at our list again. We found the 2 we've added in here. If we want to change the order of these, let's say we want to move the environmental impact down the list a little bit. Let's say we want to move the return on investment up a little bit under investment. Now, once we've selected our chapters, we've got them ordered the way we want, we click the OK Use Selected Templates button. That will get us out of this whole Pick Documents screen. Back to our project screen, and we'll click the Merge Company Data. We're just going to turn off the Excel spreadsheets for now. Now in the company data and client data, this is the data that's going to get merged into your document when the wizard builds it. So company data is usually the person who's writing the proposal. So we've got this loaded with our information here. Client data, this is going to be who you're writing the proposal to. So I'll just fill this in with some dummy data. Okay, so we filled in the client data with some fictional information. Clicked OK. So now the company data is filled in, client data is filled in, Pick Documents is filled in. There's other features in here for more complex development of proposals. These are more expert edition features. Other data that's used more for our contract tags and custom tags. Multiple choice database is an expert edition feature if you need to have multiple collections of data that you can pick from to get dropped into pages. That's more of an advanced feature if you need more database features. So we have our data selected, and we click the OK Save Project button. This is when the wizard actually builds you your custom Word document in the design theme you've selected, applying all the customizations that you've made to it. So now we just wait for the wizard to create the document. Okay, now the wizard's generated that document. We'll open it up and take a look at it. And you can see it is merged in the name and address information. You can see the design theme in the background. Now it looks a little faded here. That's just because Microsoft Word fades out background graphics that are in the header. When you print this or save to PDF, the full color version will go out. You can just double click the header and that's the actual look of your final PDF or printed version. And you can see it merged in dates, names, addresses, our project name. And the wizard has lots of options to change this proposal graphic to something else if it needs to say report or study or business plan or so on. And you can see the list of all of our chapters we selected. See our return on investment and environmental impact were our custom chapters we've added. And as we scroll down, we can see it's merged in our name into the data. Whatever name you put into the company data or client data screens is going to get merged in here instead. So this would actually be your name. And as we scroll down, you can see it pulled in the content of the sample into our Word document in our design theme. And now you can edit all of this and get it ready to submit. Now this is one of those expert level features, the dynamic Excel spreadsheet linking. All of these cells would be linked to an actual spreadsheet, so you do your calculations in the spreadsheet and they would auto update into the Word document. That's an expert level feature, so in the novice edition you would just have this stock tables you just edit manually. And you can see there's our complete document. Ready to edit in Word, and when you're done editing your document, you can say save as PDF, or just save as PDF right within the Word document. You can see it created a PDF version. If we scroll down, now you see the full color design and a PDF version ready to email or upload. So that is how you create a mining related proposal in Proposal Kit. We'll illustrate one more document. We'll just change the design theme. We're going to illustrate our Safety 4 design theme. So you can see how to create a mining related document in a design theme that's not one of our mining specific design themes. I'll just add a new project. We'll search the lists for mining related import lists. And we'll select the mining safety proposal. Now, because this mining safety proposal also is a sample, when we import it from the quick start list, it will let us know. And we can say, yes, let's import the actual content from the mining safety proposal. And we'll just uncheck the merge data. So you can see how it gets built with just blank tags that you can just edit in the document after it's been created. Okay, now our second document's been generated. I'll take a look at that. So you can see now with the merge data unchecked, you can see the actual tags, and these are just text. You can just manually type over these. This is a good way to create templates where you want the tags left in, because maybe you're going to be using them later as a reusable template, for example. And you can see the actual sample content has been loaded in. And now you'll see this is in the safety for design theme instead of a mining design theme. Since it's a safety proposal, you don't have to use a mining specific graphic design theme. And you can see the sample contents loaded in. We have the design theme. All of the pages are ready for us to start editing. Now when you finish editing and you save this as a PDF, just like before, you can see the full color of the background designs will show through. So that is how you create mining industry related documents, proposals, reports, studies, plans, and so on using Proposal Kit. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.